Hello everyone. In today's Could Creatures Surround Skull Island, we're going to be doing is Could lizards survive a Skull Island? And I know, there are already lizards on Skull Island, which are Dragon Skin, Feather Devil, and the White Wedgehead Lizard. So let's start with the living and extinct lizards, shall we? Argentine black and white tegu. For their habitat, they live in scrubs and wet environments like flooded savannas, canals, ponds, and streams. And for their diet, they are omnivorous. Juvenile tegus have been observed eating invertebrates, insects, crustaceans, spiders, and snails. They also eat fruits and seeds. As they mature, their diet becomes more generalized. Plant consumption increased. They would eat eggs from birds and other reptiles. And they would eat fish, frogs, other lizards, small mammals like rodents. Asian water monitor. For their habitat, they lived in forests, mangrove swamps, lowland freshwater, and brackish wetlands. And for their diet, they consumed a wide range of prey. They eat fish, frogs, rodents, birds, crabs, and snakes. They are known to they, they have known to eat turtles as well as young crocodiles and crocodile eggs. It is both a carnivore and scavenger. Asperosaurus, for their habitat, is unknown and diet unknown, because I could not find any information about this one. Barbatrucks, for their environment, they lived in warm, dry tropical forest ecosystem. And for their diet, it's still a debate. Some say it's a herbivore, others say it's an omnivore. Common basilisk, for their habitat, they lived in tropical rainforests. And for their diet, they are omnivores, consist of insects, for example, beetles or dragonflies, flowers, small vertebrates like snakes, birds, eggs, and fish. Giant legless lizard, for their habitat, they will live in seasonally dry savanna, woodland humus, and forest floor leaf litter. And for their diet, I could not find any information of what they eat. Green iguana. They have known to be often be found in trees. They have been observed burrowing in canals, leaves, humid tropical rainforests. And for their diet, they are primarily herbivores. They would feed on leaves like turnip, mustard, flowers, fruit, and growing shoots of upwards of 100 different species of plant. Knob-scaled lizard. For their habitat, they will live in tropical rainforests, cloud forest, oak forest, and tropical deciduous rainforest. And for their diet, they would eat larvae, and it is an ambush predator. It waits in its rocky crevice home and strike with element of surprise. It is a solitary and aggressive species and may often fight with member of its own species over territory. Komodo dragon. For their habitat, Komodo dragons live in dry open grassland, savanna, and tropical rainforest at low elevation. And for their diet, they would eat almost any kind of meat. Large ungulates like deer, wild pigs, water buffalo, and even one of their own. Because Komodo dragons have been a verb eating other of its own species. Tendency of cannibalism. Lystromicter. Habitat unknown. Its diet unknown. Marine iguana. For their habitat, they will live in marshes, mangrove swamps, and beaches. And for their diet, they mostly eat red and green algae. They're also known to eat grasshoppers, crustaceans, and on some islands, plants that grow on land. Megalania, or Varanus prisca. For their habitat, they lived in open forests, woodlands, and perhaps grasslands. And for their diet, they would eat mammals, snakes, other reptiles, and birds. Northern caiman lizard. For their habitat, they would live in swampy environments and other wooded areas, which are flooded. And for their diet, they would prey on snails, fish, amphibians, crabs, crayfish, clams, eggs, and other freshwater inhabitants that make up of its caiman lizard diet. However, they do specialize in snails. It takes a snail in the jaws, raise its head up, that the prey will slide into the back of the mouth, then crush it with its back teeth. It then spits out the piece of the shell. And they have been known to kill and eat turtles by crushing the shell by the edge and eating the softer parts, chunk after chunk. It occasionally hunts rodents. It has been known to burrow like its cousin, the tegu. Palmed basilisk. For their habitat, they they lived in rivers, streams, ponds, and lakes, in addition to beaches and seashores. And they can be found on trees and perched onto boulders near bodies of water. Pseudopis, okay, Pseudopismonicus. For their habitat, they would live in flatlands. And for their diet, I could not find information on what they eat. Rhinoceros iguana. For their habitat, they will live in brackish lake. Coastal terrains, lowlands, forests, scrub, woodlands. And for their diet, they are herbivorous, consuming leaves, flowers, seeds, berries, and fruits from different plant species. But they do appear to be opportunistic carnivores. They observe eating small lizards, snakes, land crabs, insects, and carrion, especially from dead birds and fish. Sorosins, giant gecko. In their habitat, they live in forest shrublands, and for their diet, they are omnivorous, eating fruits and insects. Solomon Islands skink. For their habitat, they will live in upper canopy of forested areas throughout its range. And for their diet, they they are herbivores, feeding on leaves, flowers, fruits, and growing shoots of several different species of plants. South American ground lizard. For their habitat, they lived in forest floor, often sheltering underneath logs and leaf litter. They have been observed making tunnels, spanning out from under the log or rock when given enough soil. For their diet consists mainly on insects and frogs and other lizards, spiders, snails, and plant matter. Talingua fragans. For their diet, same as its relative, omnivore. And for their habitat and environment, I could not find information about where it would environment is. And that's it for this video. And they could survive, but there are some species of lizards that can reproduce without a male to mate. In this process, eggs develop into embryos without being fertilized by the male. The offspring are genetically identical to the mother, as they have the same genes and the full chromosomes count. I wonder if the extinct lizards could do the same thing, like with Megalania or others. Like and subscribe and see you later, guys.